adore you. Adore you. I came first, but you're ahead beyond your years. People try to find this thing you've always been. I adore you.
Okay, hello. Okay, hello everyone.
Adore you.
Okay, so I will be recording this open akong Facebook so pangusan na to. Okay, di mo interrupt. Okay, so this is for Path Fit 4 subject, no? So as of the moment, I am currently having a proctor for the may take karon sa criminology exam sa TCC. So maunang wala tay klase, although I will be giving you binlan no activity because we cannot possibly have our synchronous class. So asynchronous type siguro na siya, no? I will post this video sa YouTube. So I think sa YouTube mo katanawan ni karon kay mas paspas ang buffering sa YouTube, no? So anyways, before we you can answer the activities that I will be posting, no, and another performance task also. Let me first have a short discussion siguro on the basics of the lessons for the lesson for module 2, which is so indoor game na to for Pathfit 4 is board game, which is a chess. Okay, so the only section that I have already discussed yesterday. So today is Wednesday. So yesterday morning, TM to B was the only section that I was able to demonstrate, no. Okay, cut off man by 11:30. So there's a view, section A, 2A, 2C, 2D, 2E, 2F. So you need to watch these videos for you to be able to answer, no, my quiz. So 50 items to see. I've already made it gahapon sa gabi. Yes, so wala ko gi-post dayon kay aron mag create sa ko video. Okay, so without further ado, let's proceed. By the way, good morning, good afternoon, good evening usang orasan ninyo gitan-aw. So time check, it's 6:55. So let's start. Okay, we have here, no, hindi makita ko ang kuanday. I-minimize ako ang face, no, for a moment. Okay, that's it. Imagine na lang ang wala iro sa akong background, no. My mic is a condenser mic, so very sensitive to sa noise. Oh my god, it's so noisy. Anyways, let's have the basics of chess. So we will divide it into 4 parts, no. So para mas organize ang ato ang discussion or my explanation. Let's start with the history, introduction, then the chess pieces. Okay, what are the chess pieces in a chess board? And the chess pieces, of course, no, how they move, how they capture, how they work with one another to result into an end game or a depende pa na sa ending sa usa ka chess game. Anyways, let's watch a short video from TED Ed, no? So a brief history of chess. Anyways, my discussion is sunod-sunod lang unsay mastorya na ko muna siguro na. But most of what I will be sharing with you is nasa module. So if you would completely watch this video from start to end, so sayo na ra ang ato ang quiz. Nadito ang nadirita na ang answers sa questions sa quiz. Anyways, let's watch the video on the history of chess. I think it's not in the module, no? So, add-on na po ng knowledge siguro. Okay? Kasi the subtitle.
The attacking infantry advances steadily, their elephants already having broken the defensive line. The king tries to retreat, but enemy cavalry flanks him from the rear. Escape is impossible. But this isn't a real war, nor is it just a game. Over the roughly 1.5 millennia of its existence, chess has been known as a tool of military strategy, a metaphor for human affairs, and a benchmark of genius. While our earliest records of chess are in the 7th century,
Very old game. So, from the 7th century pa siya.
legend tells
So,
that the
itaglish yun ako din somewhat Visaya para i-translate na og Visaya some words, no? Very technical as chess para katong mga beginners pa, no? What's your idea about chess? Somewhat maybe sabot. Yeah. Okay, let's continue.
game's origins lie a century earlier. Supposedly, when the youngest prince of the Gupta Empire was killed in battle, his brother devised a way of representing the scene to their grieving mother. Set on the 8x8 Oshtapada board used for other popular pastimes, a new game emerged with two
Okay, as Tapada is not really, no, the chess game that we know now, no, so modern chess. Maybe influences lang siya.
key features: different rules for moving different types of pieces, and a single king piece whose fate determined the outcome. The game was originally known as Chaturanga,
Okay, Chaturanga is, no,
a Sanskrit
previously known term before siya ni-translate to chess karon.
word for the 4 divisions, but with its spread to
Kasi magawa sa to ang exam, no, so take note also. Chaturanga.
Sassanid Persia, it acquired its current name and terminology. Chess, derived from Shah, meaning king, and checkmate from Shahmot, or the king is helpless. After the 7th century Islamic conquest of Persia, chess was introduced to the Arab world. Transcending its role as a tactical simulation, it eventually became a rich source of poetic imagery. Diplomats and courtiers used chess terms to describe political power. Ruling caliphs became avid players themselves, and historian al-Masudi considered the game a testament to human free will compared to games of chance. Medieval trade along the Silk Road carried the game to East and Southeast Asia, where many local variants developed.
Okay, so it was brought by trade gyapon, no. So nadala siya sa different parts of the world or the nation.
In China, chess pieces were placed at intersections of board squares rather than inside them, as in the native strategy game Go.
Okay, Go is another board game from China. Actually, the most famous, no, board game from China. Yeah, so it's called Go, Go.
The reign of Mongol leader Tamerlane saw an 11x10 board with safe squares called citadels, and in Japanese shogi, captured pieces
Another chess board from Japan is called Shogi.
could be used by the opposing player.
So chess actually has many influences, no?
But it was in Europe that chess began to take on its modern form. By 1000 AD, the game had become part of courtly education. Chess was used as an allegory for different social classes performing their proper roles, and the pieces were reinterpreted in their new context. At the same time, the church remained suspicious of games. Moralists cautioned against devoting too much time to them, with chess even being briefly banned in France. Yet the game proliferated, and the 15th century saw it cohering into the form we know today. The relatively weak piece of Visaya was recast as a more powerful queen, perhaps inspired by the recent surge of strong female leaders. This
So it would also reflect on the chess, how the chess piece moves, especially the queen.
change accelerated the game's pace, and as other rules were popularized, treatises analyzing common openings and endgames appeared. Chess theory was born. With the Enlightenment era, the game moved from royal courts to coffee houses. Chess was now seen as an expression of creativity, encouraging bold moves and dramatic plays. This romantic style reached its peak in the immortal game of 1851, where Adolf Andersen managed a checkmate after sacrificing his queen and both rooks.
So there are also chances, no, if you are to plan on a checkmate to your opponent. So there are instances that you would sacrifice some chess pieces in order to reach that goal. Okay, so in this case, Anderson, I think, no, sacrificed both his queen and rook. But these are very powerful, no, chess pieces, very important. But in the end, it is technique he used to be able to win the game.
But the emergence of formal competitive play in the late 19th century meant that strategic calculation would eventually trump dramatic flair. And with the rise of international competition, chess took on a new geopolitical importance. During the Cold War, the Soviet Union devoted great resources to cultivating chess talent.
Okay, that's why up until now, I think the greatest, no, chess players is from that country. So the Soviet Union. So wala naman ng Soviet Union karon. So more or less Germany man siguro na siya. Nang apart Germany, Soviet. So very famous, very no, prominent players in chess, mga grandmasters of chess, is from mostly Europe,
dominating the championships for the rest of the century. But the player who would truly upset Russian dominance
Russia.
was not a citizen of another country, but an IBM computer called Deep Blue.
Okay, it was not a human, no? Dili tao may nakapildi sa the greatest, no, the grandmaster of chess, but a program, a computer and AI called Deep Blue. Una siya sa to ang quiz or exam maybe. Take note.
Chess-playing computers have been developed for decades, but Deep Blue's triumph over Garry Kasparov
Garry Kasparov, so another name, famous name in chess,
in 1997 was the first time a machine had defeated a sitting champion. Today, chess software is capable of consistently defeating the best human players. But just like the game they've mastered, these machines are products of human ingenuity.
No matter how you say very in some way genius, no, ang AI or these machines, kinsa man po nagbuhat nila kundi tower man pod, no, in the end. So ang result kung unsay dinuwaan sa usa ka machine gikan gyapon sa tao.
And
So in some way mapildi gyapon siya og tao kay tao ra man gyapon nagama niya, no, ga-program niya.
perhaps that same ingenuity will guide us out of this apparent checkmate.
Okay, there are
Did you
terms.
know that the treadmill
Yeah, there are terms also that you need to familiarize in chess, no. So checkmate, check, no, stalemate. Okay, so basically that's the history, no. So chess has many influences, no. Previous board games from China, no, lahi sila makapangalan, lahi og strategy, lahi actually og porma, no. I-compare mo sa chess, but it has its influences from those games. So chess became famous in Europe. So what is discussed in the video also, no? So lisa magikan ang mga hari o reyna kingdoms and dito sa Europe, mostly monarchy nila. So gi-adapt na sa dito mostly pod siguro ang mostly pod ang maka kahibawra pod sa duwa or maka actually maka play, no, na knowledge about chess is high ranking ra pod families, individuals. So mga royalties ra pod gyapon. I think that's in the module. Let's take a look at the module first. Okay, no. So board games are traditionally a subset of tabletop games. So that involve counters or piece mover placed on pre-marked surface or board according to set of rules, no? In terms of sports, nandiyan na siya yung rules. So board games like kanang dama is also a board game with simple rules, but in contrast with chess, dahil kag bantayan, no? So dili siya kayo simple gyud, ni siya og tun-an ni magtaman, dahil kag memorization nga moves, dahil kag memorization nga techniques, no, dahil kag memorization nga terms. Okay, so mga hidden rules pod, no, sa chess nga dili kayo sikat pero naa na siya. Okay, so a German name, no? So the first international chess tournament was the London Tourney, played in 1851. So a German named Adolf Anderson, so moto ang nasa video, no, won the game. So he became the unofficial best chess player of the world. So during that time, chess is really not that famous, no. During his time, so he won, but he did not receive any award or title man lang. So the first great American-born chess player was Paul Morphy. So in United States of America pod sila champion dito, si Paul Murphy. Sa London, Europe, Adolf Anderson actually has a book, no, Master of Attack. So the chess games of Adolf Anderson. So if you're to think, no, if you are you go in a serious route on chess, if you would study, no, individuals who are grandmasters, kanila mga libro na sila'y saghuon actually, no, na sequence of moves actually ang chess para maanad ka mo chess, no, dahil saghuon actually openings palang daan ana mag-start, no, opening sa inyong duwa mo matter na gyud na siya, no, sa the rest of the game. So if you have a strong opening, so that is advantage, no, higher chances of winning. Okay, the first official championship chess tournament, sa pag-zoom ani tara charo biya makita, no. Okay, zoom na lang po din sa video. Okay, the first official championship chess tournament was played in 1866 in London with sand clocks to restrict the length of a game. So sa modern times, in terms of the length of game or time for each players, no, so 5 minutes is allocated for each player. So depende po na siya sa tournament og pila ka minutes ang ihatag sa kada player, no. So 5 minutes is mostly ginagamit. So bisan pa og gusto pa ka mo bawi, no, but if you have less time, no, so wala jud kay lang buhat kundi mahurot imong time. If mauna hurot imong time actually sa chess, so that's an L for you. Okay, so Russia dominates the game of chess up until now. Magnus Carlsen, I think, is from Russia. He's the most sought after chess player, no, de karong panahon na. Okay, so benefits, I think you can read that, no. So let's know the chess pieces. So before that, let's have the chessboard. So this is the chessboard, no? So there are letters below. There are numbers at the sides. So in terms of notation, kanang tournament gyud siya, no? So each move will have its corresponding notation. So it would be paired by the type of chess piece that you are moving and where it is located in the chessboard. Okay, so let's have the notations for each chess notations. Wala sa module, so I want you to know this also. Okay, so let's have the chess notations. Okay, chess piece notation. Dara. Okay, so for the king, the notation for king is K. So the notation for a queen is Q. Okay, the notation for a knight or the horse is letter N. So the notation for a bishop is B. Notation is somewhat shortcut niya, no? So inigsuwat nimo B na lang instead of complete bishop, no word. Okay, rook is R, pawn is wala. I think dili apelo ng pawn. Yes, wala siya labot, no? So in moving, no, so if the bishop is to move from so this is the starting point of the bishop, so bishop would be moving to the left, so diagonal ang movement sa bishop, so dire siya dapita. Okay, so there would be a notation for that, no? So B, then the bishop, no, then bishop to A4. So there in apartment. So this is A4. This is B4. So kung asa siya na-allocate, no? So una ang letter, then the number. So this is E4. So let's take a look at Kiano. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then sa ibaba pod, so 8 pod siya. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So total of pila man? 8 times 8, 64. Yes. Yeah, so that is the total number of tiles in a chess. Okay, so 64. Sakto? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, 64. And the total number of chess pieces is how many? So for each player, no, so the chess pieces will occupy 2 columns, no. So gikan sa A2A, I think. A2, yes, A2 hangtod H2. So kani sila. So pila man ni tanan? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So for each player, you will be provided 16 chess pieces. So overall, so both players pila man? 16, 16, that's 32 chess pieces all in all. Okay? So now you know the chessboard already, the chess pieces. Let's next step would be to arrange them in order, no. So you're gonna start a game without them in place. So the chess pieces should be in place, no. Okay, so para mas dali, let us first, no, arrange or ipahilunan na to, bisayon na to para mas pahilunan na to ang chess pieces para makastart na ta. So ang unahon na to is ang pawn. So unsa may porma og pawn? So this is a Pawn. Chess piece. This is a pawn. Okay? So, kung makabantay mo, pawn ang pinakadaghan. So, pila man sila kabuktanan. So, half man sa chess piece is a pawn. So, 16 tanan. So, 8 pawns. How many pawns in a chess? Okay, there are 8. Okay? So, butang na to og P as pawn. Okay? So, the 8 pawns, ang 8 ka pawn, they will occupy this area. Okay? Pawn, P, pawn, pawn, pawn. Oy nga naman na siya, oy. Okay. Pawn, pawn, pawn. Okay? All of the second column from A to H will be occupied by the pawn. Okay, so there are 8 pawns anis latanan sa tabangan. Okay, sunod na ta ng maga moves sa pawns. I-arrange na to. Pila sa to ang PT next week. So you have to arrange the chess pieces in their correct places. Okay, correct order. So, 8 ka pawn, kompleto na. Okay, so let's have the chess pieces that will occupy A1 and H1, which are the rooks. Okay, these are rooks. Pila man kabuok ning rooks. Okay, there are 2. Okay, there are 2 rooks for each player. So R for a rook. Okay, so asa man ang rook diri repita R circle na siya kana rook. Then those are the 2 rooks. Okay, familiarize the image. So that is a rook. Mura siya og torre, no? Actually. Okay. So for the next chess piece, so timanihaan ni sila jud kinakiliran. Okay, for the next chess piece, we have the bishop. Okay, so unsay porma og bishop? This one is the bishop. Okay, kani ni mura og tigbas og lagaraw. So muna siya ang rook, bishop. Okay, bishop, let's have letter B for bishop. Ani B, so duha po siya, no? Pair siya, bishop. Bishop will occupy B1 to B1 in G1. Maklaro na ba? Isong natutaman ba siya? Ragdi maklaro, no? Kana. So, those are the 2 bishops. Next, no? Ikan sa kinadaplinan is the what? Of course, walay lain pa the knight, or commonly known nato is horse. Mythology, Norse mythology. Joke. So this is the horse. Okay, so muna siya horse, ulo sa kabayo. Nga pa rin pamisik tabi. Okay, ano to? Tara. Ano wala? Tara. The horse. So what is the notation for horse gani? So these are the notations, no, kanang pina-shortcut niya. So notation for horse or knight is N. So nag-start siya sa spelling as K, but the notation is N. So pair po na sila. Pair dapat kaya ron dili mingaw no. Mingaw uluya po siya og siya isa. So ko music eh. Basig copyright na ba? Okay. Ano lang. Okay. So duha na lang ang nahibilin nga chess piece. Of course, two most important chess pieces, no, is the queen and the king. So dili kompleto ang gingharian kung walay king and queen. So dapat naa silang duha. So wala sila pares. Nga naman silang duha man ang pares. So wala sila kabit duha, no, silang duha ang dapat magkadayon. Joke. So let's have the king and the queen. So may unahan na to. Of course, unahan na to si Correcto Mundo, the queen. Nga naman kay ambot bitaw. So the queen, kaning porma sa queen, this is the queen. Kanina yung murag corona sa taas, no. This is the queen. Actually mas taas ang king, the queen, kani may queen. So nabo ang queen, no. So para dili ka mawala, tan-awon nimo ang color sa queen. Okay. If the queen is white or puti ang imong queen, or puti ang imuhang chess pieces, no, so asa man na siya dapat ibutang? Of course sa puti pod nga chess tiles, no. D1. Okay. Notation for the queen is of course Q. Ni circle na po siya. Queen. So if your queen is white, the queen should be on the white tile. If you are black imuhang mga chess pieces, so dire pod siya, meaning mag-atbang sila. Okay. If your queen is black, the queen should be in the black tile. If the queen is white, the queen should be in the white tile. So dili dapat mawala na. Mawala na siya minus points tanan. So that is 0 for you. So dapat mo na inyong basihan in finding the correct tile for your queen. So kaniman duha na bilin. So unsa na may last? Ang king. The reason that would end the game is the capture and no more movements nga mahimo sa king. So of course king, notation for king is K. So the king is the most vulnerable chess piece. So okay na ba ta? So kompleto na. Actually mirror ni siya, no. So this is the chess the white chess pieces sequence sa white chess pieces. Opposite ra po niya. If black akong ipa arrange nimo, opposite ra po sila. Okay? So ang imuhang chess pieces sa pawn dire sa 7th column. Then at the back portion mirror gyapon sila. Rook dire, bishop dire, horse o knight dire. Then dire unsa man? Wrong naman. Yes, queen ang nadiri, king ang nadiri. So sayop ka. So excuse me, queen and the king. So mani ha, bantay bitag malimtan ha. Okay, so ila-ilahon sa nato ang kada chess piece. Let's know their chess moves or ang ilahang pattern. Okay, so let's demonstrate. Dito na ba? Dili pa. Dili sa ako sang I-refer sa module. Okay, magamit ang module. May gamit ang module. May tanawon. So, kani. King, the queen, the bishop, the knight, the rook, the pawn. Okay? So, K. Moving the king. King. Okay, in moving the queen, so the king moves one square in any direction. So as what I've said, the king is the most pabebe one. No, nga naman. The king is most weakest actually, no. So the king moves one square. For a while, my dog is very noisy. Mic check on the beat, y'all. Okay. So let's continue. So this is the king, no? So asa to dapit ang king? Diara. Okay. This one. So the king has one move at a time lang siya. Okay? So if naadiri mong king maabot siguro siya diri, no? So ang iyang movement ra is isa lang yun. You can capture also, no? Yang kanon padong sa forward, padong sa kilid, no? To the left, to the right, and backwards. Basin asa. Pero isa ra ka buok. So dili na may tabo nga kaduha siya mo lukso. Dapat isa ra gyud. One thing about para ma-compare nato ang dama o chess in ways of capturing your opponent. In the rules of dama, no, is nadiri mo ang opponent, imo siyang luksuan para makapture siya, meaning kuhaon to nimo siya. Okay? In chess, in terms of capturing your opponent, so dili ra ma-apply sa king ha, so sa tanan na siya. In terms of capturing your opponent, dili nimo luksuan. Okay? Dili ka mo lukso padong sa pikas. Okay? In chess, if you are to capture your opponent, you will have to replace, no, the tile of your opponent that was captured. Okay? So if ang pawn dire ay compare na to be. Okay. So kung pawn dire, kung sa dama pa, no, kung sa dama mo siya luksoan sa imong king na dire na kuhaon nimo ang pawn. So walay tao dire. But in chess, kung mukaon ka sa chess, imo siyang pulihan, no? Nga niyang may tabo. So naipon dire, kanon nimo ang pawn. Okay? You need to replace the pawn. So ani ka sunod nimo nga tile. Okay? So mawala ng pawn imong king, wala na pod na dira, so na siya dire. Impuli replacing the pawn. Okay, again dili na nimo luksoan para sa dama, then mawala siya. Sa chess, imo siyang pulihan. Okay, pak bagaan mo ng pawn, ikaw ang puli sa lugar sa pawn. Okay, ayaw libuga. Dili pare pod ang dama no nga basig asa maabot og sa tawag anak ka ng master na siya, turn kalimot ko kabaw, no? So maglupalugpa na siya, walay ingana sa chess. So different ang ilang rules actually. Walay rule nga pareha sa chess o sa dama. Okay? So, another rule also is ang king ang pinaka-importante mong god. One rule is a king cannot capture a king. Okay? So, meaning is if ang king nimo, then ang king pod sa kalaban, so meaning king nimo nga puti, king sa kalaban, dili na sila posible nga magtapad. Okay? Nga naman, mo cancel out man na silang duha. Perfect word para no. Mo cancel out silang duha nga naman. Dili mo yung pwede siya ma-check pero check mong gumunduha. Okay. So mo capture ang king sa pikas nga king. Ang king pod mo capture pod nimo. Inga na way. O capture na yung duha. So dili na siya pwede sa chess. Never na siyang mahitabo sa chess. Maunang if na kay plano nga i-move no, so ang king nimo dire. Then ang king sa opponent. Okay. Imong gusto ikaw man eh. So imong gusto mahitabo is kanon nimo ning king. So di man ka pwedeng mulokso ka one move raman. So muduol ka niya. Nanay imong king dire, no? That is not a legal move. So dili na siya pwede, no? Dili na siya pwede, dili na siya acceptable sa chess. Okay? Again, di siya pwede nga naman mo cancel out siya daw, mo check kaniya. Mo check pod ang imong king nimo. So among all the chess pieces, ang imuharang king ang dili pwede mo duol sa pikas nga king. The rest is pwede mo capture except sa imong king. So dili sila pwede magtapad. Okay, pwede mo check ang pawn, pwede mo paduol ang pawn, pwede mo paduol ang horse or knight niya. The rest except sa king. Okay? So may tabo is imong atake is hudton ang chess piece sa kontra. Imong depensa is focus ka sa imuhang king. Imong priority nga dili siya mabotang sa alanganin. Nga naman, if malang botang siya sa alanganin, pildi man yung duwa. Okay? So more on that later. So chess moves at ano? K king. So that is king. The most weak chess piece, but the most important. Di man the most weakest, but the most important chess piece. Bali siya, no? So dili siya kusgan nga pagka king. Actually weak siya. Weak shit. So let's have another chess piece. The queen. Okay. Okay, let's have the queen. So the queen is the most powerful chess piece. Okay? Nga naman. The queen can replicate the movements of other chess pieces. Rather all, no? All chess pieces except the knight. Okay? So, pwede ni ma-replicate ni queen ang move ni rook. Ano mga araw to? Move ni rook. Pwede niya ma-replicate ang move ni bishop. Pwede niya ma-replicate ang move ni king. Except ni knight. Okay? So, timan ina. Mo'y atong hibawan. Okay? Apil di ang pawn. Limta na itong pawn. So, pwede niya ma-replicate ang move ni pawn. Except lang sa horse. Magkaibaw tan timan So, pwede niya ma-replicate ni queen. Munang powerful siya. Kaya ma-replicate niya ang movement ni rook, ni bishop, ni knight, ni knight, except ni knight, no? Again, pwede ba replicate ni queen ang movement ni rook, ni bishop, ni king, o ni pawn. Muna iti man nga naman, atong ilalahon ang movement sa uban para mailahi-ila na to slowly si queen pod. Okay? So, let's have the rook. Unsa may movement ni rook nga pwede ma-replicate ni queen. So, powerful pod ang rook, no? So, atong i-center of attraction si rook. If this is the rook, circle mo na again. If this is the rook, siya ang rook, no? Iyaharang allowed movement is horizontal and vertical. Horizontal pahigda, no? Horizontal higda. Vertical varog, varog pa straight. Alay po na yung ginuhon na, no? Dili na mao. Okay, so for the rook, pwede siya say limitless, no? Pwede siya dire, pwede siya move dire, pwede po siya move ika tulong nga tiles, pwede ika upat nga tile. Inga nila nga ang exception. So the rook cannot pass through chess pieces. Example, if your rook is in this tile and you are planning to transfer your rook to this part, no, man yung plan dungon kani man plan mo dungon nga tile, but na ay gaatang marapog dama, no, so di kalusot. So if there is a pawn here, or regardless, no, pawn sa imuhang opponent or your pawn, not only pawn, tanan chess pieces, no? So example to si pawn, if na ay chess piece like a pawn sa tunga, so dili pwede si rook moabot diri dapita. Okay, na may gaatang, so dili siya pwede. Asar mo siya taman pwede dire. Okay, ano siya taman. Okay, pwede ba si rook mo diagonal, dili lagi kay pa varog and higda ra siya, vertical and horizontal. Straight lines only for rook. Okay, muna yung timanan, straight lines. So dili siya pwede pass through if na ay gatang. Okay, so ma-replicate na ni kisa to ni ma-replicate ni queen. Okay, so another chess piece is called the bishop. The bishop. Okay, so somewhat parallel sila ni rook, no? Gatapad silang duha, so parallel lagi po sila. Okay, so si bishop, pati man na yung forma ni bishop, no? So na-introduce to kaniya. Si bishop is in here. In terms of the bishop, you need to consider that tile that he is in, no? Asa man siya nga tile? Very good, no? Sakto lagi itong ginuhuna. Puti. Meaning, ana, sa puti rapod siya allowed mo move or mo travel. Okay? So, unlike sa bishop nga vertical and horizontal, bishop moves in a diagonal way. Diagonal meaning pasaka or paubos. Sakto ba? Diagonal meaning diagonal man ang puti. So pwede si bishop padong dito. Limitless po siya, no? So pwede siya og diri nga tile, pwede pa siya diri nga tile. Okay? Pwede ba siya diri? Of course pwede. Puti man. Okay? Pwede ba siya diri? Of course pwede. Pwede ba siya diri? Of course pwede. Basta kaya nagtungkod na sila. Okay? If nakaposition mo bishop diri, so pwede siya ani akong gi-shadean. Pwede siya ani akong gi-shadean. Ana, magka-travel na siya within that diagonal lane. Okay? Question. Pwede ba siya diri maabot? Si bishop. Of course, dili nga nang moabot man siya dira nga nam siya diri dapita. Ay ko inang muliko na siya diha. Of course, no? Dili. Gawasog na siya diri. Pwede si bishop ani. Wala man siya diha, nam siya diri. So diri ra siya pwede mo travel. So starting ni bishop nam siya diri. So if the pawn is wala siya nag-block sa pathway ni bishop, again dili ra pawn ha. So if mabungkag na siya sa gadawa na mo. So if naigatang, same with rook, the bishop cannot pass through. So if your pawn has already moved upwards, no, meaning spacious and diri unay tao, then free as a bird na si bishop. Shung gawas na siya. Mawaw man siya. So pwede rin siya taman. Pwede siya dito tumoy. Pwede siya itong kinababuan as long as walay gaatang. Okay, pwede siya diri? Of course, pwede. Pwede siya malapas. O na may lapat sa board na anarataman. Okay? Pwede siya diri. Again, di pwede. Masarap po siya tungod, no? Po siya diha. So, duha man na sila. Yes, if you can observe, no? So, if the bishop is in the white tile, white ra po na siya. So, bright po rin kagama, no? Nga naman, giparisan po siya og black nga tile nga bishop. Meaning, sa black tile ra po na siya. So, libo kayang chess. So, daghan siya kang saguon. So, black tile kung black nga bishop. Never siya mo touch sa white. Okay? Kay black raman siya. Black ra po siya. If the bishop is in the white tile, white ra po na siya. Unlike the rook nga, pwede sila mag-abot, no? Kay straight raman sila. Regardless if white or black ang imuhang tile. Okay? Let's have the pawn. Okay? So, among all, inganim ganyan, makategorize mo nimo ang chess pieces, no? Kani sila diri nasa first rank o nasa first, no? Nasa ubos. Ano siya ni mga special powers mo god. Kani sila mga skills ba? So, grabe performance na nila. So, moto ganiha. So, pawn is very limited ra kayo ilahang movement. Nga naman. Ano po cases po ni nga pawn, no? If it is the first movement pa sa inyohang pawn, okay? Pwede siya og duha. First pa. Okay? If first pa na siya. If ikaduha nga move na nanam siya diri, no? If ikaduha nga na move sa, if second move na siya sa pawn, so di na siya pwede makaduha. So isa lang yun siya. So the rule is if it is just the first, no, move of your pawn, pwede siya duha, pwede siya diri, pwede siya diri. Okay? Nara po na depende po na sa player na pwede siya diri siya taman or kaduha sa first move. Okay? So if your first move diri ra, then the rest na isa na gyud na. Okay? Isa. If your first move is duha, isa na po na siya. Okay? So na pattern ang ni-roll po ang pawn, no? Nga naman, if the pawn is to move forward na siya. Okay? Forward. Pa-forward ang iyang movement. But if the pawn is to capture, mukaon siya no, og basig unsa pa niyang kanon, pwede man niya kanon basig unsa. Okay, the opponent's rook, the opponent's bishop, pawn, the opponent's bishop, the opponent's knight, the opponent's queen, or maybe the king no, makatabang siya. So the rule for pawn is pa-capture niya is pa-side. Okay, so isa ra pud na, isa ra dapat. Okay, di po siya pwede capture bishop naman na nga na kung layo na. So one diagonal, one tile diagonally no, diagonally. Okay, diagonal. Again, if the pawn is to move forwards, yeah. But if the pawn is to capture pa sides, yeah. Example would be okay, ni pawn. If na ay gaatang na chess piece dire, example po to, pawn na pod. So dili niya ma-capture nga naman, dili man siya alam mo capture og nasa front. Okay, dili po siya ka move nga naman. Again, also no, among all the chess pieces, the pawn is the only chess piece that is not allowed to move backwards. So di sila pwede mo atras, abante ra gyud na sila. Okay, sa tanang chess piece pwede mo na sila sa ubos no, kani sa tanan atras, abante, skilled o pwede. But luoy si pawn nga naman na dili siya pwede mo atras, abante ra gyud na siya kanunay no. No, abante pa tobang or abante siya diagonally if na opponent na gatang no. So there is a example would be there's a pawn here. So maka-move siya forward? Of course not, kay there is a nag-block siyang pathway man. But if there is also a pawn here, circle mo dyan na siya ana. So maka-forward ba siya? Of course maka-forward siya. In terms of capturing sideways, capturing this pawn, yan yung kanon ba? So iyang i-replace. So kani siya na siya dire. Ni forward siya wala. Of course ni forward siya. No? So if wala ga-block dire, pwede siya move forward. Okay, again, if the pawn is to capture, it should capture the chess pieces no at the sides no. The one tile diagonally. Okay? But if the pawn is to move, it has to move forward. It is only to move diagonal if there is a opponent that is capture no imong kanon sa sika side. Okay, so of course maawat na sa queen. Again, kani si rook, bishop, the king, and the pawn. So the queen can imitate their moves, except okay, the most the knight. Ano siyang marama na chess, pernah ko is marama siya na chessboard nga naman. It is the only chess piece that can jump through or pass through chess pieces. Makalusot-lusot siya ba, bisan pa og nay gaatang anang yang atubangan or siyang kilid, as long as the point where the knight will be placed is spacious or bulay chess piece nakabutang, pwede. Example would be like this. Okay, so the knight is here. So if you are to observe now, there is pawn in the front of the knight no, isika side po na so kani sila tanan would not be able to move nga naman. There are pawns in their front except the knight nga naman. The knight can pass through. Okay, makalukso, maka-jump sila ba. So in terms of the knight, so there is a pattern of in terms of their movement. So their move should composed of four tiles. Regardless of the shape, I think the shape, as long as it's an L with four tiles. Okay, so if this is the knight, so 1 2 1 2 3 3, then 4. So naigatang lokso ang kabayo eruption, kabayo lokso siya. Okay, 1 2 3 4. Pwede ba siya repikas? Of course pwede. 1 2 3 4. Okay, as long as ang iyang butanganan is spacious, no. If na pawn diha, pwede ba siya mo patong ng pawn? Of course dili. Unless if i-capture niya. Pwede, of course pwede go niya pulihan if i-capture niya. So there are also instances nga you need to also think, no, if mo capture ka, dapat na plano, no. So i-replace niya ni si pawn. Pwede. Okay, so dili ra nga ning porma. Pwede ang knight, no, nag-start pa siya 1 2 3 nga straight, then to the left, to the right day nga 1. Pwede pod nga nga case mag-start siya og 1, then continue og 3. So muna pattern. So it's either 1 3 or 3 1. Kani 1 3 man ni. 1 2 3 then 1. Liko 1. Pwede pod og 1 3, meaning if there is a horse here or the knight, this is 1 1, then paliko 1, paliko siya, no, 1, then paliko ni is 3. This 1 2 3. So the knight will end up here. Okay, so pareha sila forma. If you can observe, mura siya gibalera siya forma, no, gibalera siya. Pwede mo balik ang knight sa iyang original position, anay pabalik na po. Of course pwede. Again, among all the chess pieces, ang pawn ra ang dili allow mo reverse backwards, away reverse nga. Okay, monobila sa pawn. So loy guys sila, no. And that is the reason why the queen cannot replicate the knight. Okay, among all the chess pieces, the queen cannot replicate the move of the knight. Okay, so I think we have already discussed the types of chess pieces and its movements. Pila na ka oras ang ako ang istorya diri. Anyways, ayop na po yung nasabtan, no. I guess naapod siguro gamay. Okay, anyways, katong i-discuss na diri tanan sa module, no. Okay, so before we I will demonstrate, no, the actual game of chess. Let's have the end game. So what is the purpose of playing the game without having a plano of ending it? Sige na tagduwa, no. You have to plan how to end with a win, of course. Amo duwa ra tagpapilde. So sa ato ang performance task, dapat mo daog kay na 50 points. So here is the rule. Listen carefully. Okay, so there are 3 things that will there are 3 things. Paminaro kay din ako magsuwat. Okay, techniques later na. Okay, there are 4 ways to draw a game. So sa module is very daghan na stalemate. Kaya nga nilang para mas organized, no. Ako ang i-type na lang. Sige. Ito daguan be. There are 3 ways to end a chess game. 1 is checkmate. So in order to execute a checkmate, so again, sige, ito na to. In checkmate, so there is a winner. Na ay winner sa checkmate, no? Of course, pili mo kontra daog ka. But there are two things that you need to consider in a checkmate. First is the opponent's king is captured. Okay? There is possibility that the opponent king is captured, but there is still chance, no, that it can still move. Meaning, wala pa naman ang duwa. So in terms of the opponent king is captured, natay term ana. So kani siya is called a check. Meaning, it is a point in the game where your opponent's king is captured, no? Ikaw mismo nakaka-capture niya. So muna makadungog kami yung check, dili checkmate. So different and checkmate sa check. So check meaning the opponent king is captured, but it is not checkmate nga naman. There is still a possibility that the king can still be saved, no? Say example ato, if the let's illustrate na lang, no? If your queen is capturing the opponent's king, so regardless of the talis na, okay, so queen pwede man siya makapture na kay pwede man ma-imitate niya ang movement sa rook. So in this way na-capture na siya. So this way check na siya. Okay? So pwede mo ingon ba kay check necessary ba jud mo ingon og-check? Of course not, no? Ato man na mga Pinoy nga check patriling ba, pero in actual tournament, no, you need not to say check, no? Kabaw na imong kontra nga na gi-check nimo siya. Okay? So in this state, check siya. Pero checkmate ba ang king sa opponent? Of course not. There is a possibility that the king will move one tile to the right. So if mo move siya padung ato na dire, na check na wala. Check ba still? Of course dili na check. So bali na pud dire, check na pod. So inga na magkod-gukod mo, meaning wala point. So muna siya, kana lang siya nga point is check ra, no? Check. Okay. So para maka-consider og checkmate, another thing is i-consider. So the opponent's king has no more legal move. Ano lang, okay. So the opponent's king has no more legal moves, meaning, okay, atong illustrate balik. So in this way atong isumpay dire, if okay, so mo to'y duha ka grounds, no, para ma-consider ang king or the game as checkmate. If the king's opponent has no more legal moves, meaning nababoy na siya in Visaya, no, nababoy na trap na ba. Okay, kani example na to, balik ni kani siya. Okay, take a look. This is now check. Okay, so pwede pa siya mo move diri sa right, but naaman kay gi prepare nga plano. So naa kay bishop diri. So ang bishop naa sa black tile, meaning it can move padong dira or padong sa ubos. So in this case atong i-trap lang daan siguro para hindi na madakapangutana. So na ay king's opponent's king, opponent's pawn, and opponent's rook. Napalibutan siya ba? Then opponent's rook siguro pod kay niababaw yun sa pagabot ng rook. So in this way, checkmate ba? Matulong itong bishop dire, ang bishop dapat dire kay bishop dire na to, white bishop, meaning sakto lagi. So king dara balik. Okay, so this setup. Okay, so queen is checking the opponent's king. So no other choice ang imong opponent but to save the king. So i-priority dyan na biyaan niya tanan niyang ipang buhat, isalbar niya yang king. Okay, so that is a must, no? So dili pwede sagdaan nimo na diha. Okay, in chess dapat yun nimo salbaron imong king, no? Di para sa dama nga pwede ra og ipaunya sana. But in chess, so dili na siya allowed. If your king is in check, dili na siya pwede biyaan, imo na siyang salbaron dayon. So one move raman iyahang allowed. So pwede ba siya dire? Of course dili, nga naman illegal na siya nga move. Kay again na imong bishop dire. Kung mudong siya dire mo siya gahikog. Nga na ba? Meaning illegal, meaning dili siya maghikog dapat. Sa may term to na. Okay? Kaya na may mong bishop dire gaatang. So pwede siya mo capture na. So meaningless iyang pag-move dire yun siya. Mamatay ra gyapon siya. So di siya pwede mo move anang dapita. Asa siya pwede mo move? Dire sa likod, of course dili gihapon nga naman. Ang queen pwede magyapon na dira padong. So dili siya pwede. Okay, pwede ba siya dire? Pwede? Of course pwede. Nga naman wala na may makapa, wala may mo capture niya direng dapita. So ang move sa opponent's king is limited na lang. So kani dapita and kani dapita na lang. Wala lain. Okay? So kung dire, di pwede. Dire illegal, patay siya kay na bishop. Dire, of course, dire samot, no? Gapatubang na noon. So dire sa pikas, pwede. So kanin na lang duha ang iyahang moves nga legal. The rest is illegal na. In the event, so dili pa siya checkmate, no? So dili pa mo man ang duha. In the event nga grabe man imong strategy, no? Na imuhang rook dire. Okay. Then naasab ang imuang rook diring dapita. Okay, ato ang tan-awon. So kani opponent's rook, opponent's pawn, opponent's king. So ang king mo priority jud nimo kanunay or sa imong opponent. Kung makapture na siya, salbaron gyud na siya. But naka strategy naman ka. So nanay queen mo dire set up. Naka set up na kano, so rook, then there's a rook there. There is a bishop here. Okay, checkmate na ba? Okay, so maybe imuhan ang move, no? So imuhang queen diri siguro kan kani. Queen siguro diri kan, then may kag check. Okay? Kisa may nag-check sa opponent's king. Imuhang queen. Pak capture siya. So it is now time for the kings to move, no? Unsa ni pag-save sa iyahang king. Pwede niya i-move ang king, pwede niya tabunan, no, kung unsay nakapa check. So ang naka-check sa king is queen raman. Rook wala kay padong man diha wala. Imong bishop wala pod naka-check. Imong rook wala pod naka-check. So imuhang queen ra. So imong pangitagpagi nga matabunan. Okay, ang imong opponent pangitagpagi niyang matabunan niyang king. Ang pawn is again dili siya pwede mo tabon diri. No? If matabunan na, okay na. So i-sacrifice mo imong pawn diri, but Again, the movement of pawn is dili pa side pawn sa ganito pa forward. So walay laing way nga motabang sa imuhang king no ang rook diri sa likod raman. O dili ang rook na mo diri ra. Then kani nga rook sa opponent padung ra pud diha sa tubangan. So let's see if ma-save pa ba sa opponent ang iyahang king. So ikaw excited na kano kay daog na human ang duwa. Okay, check iyahang king. Move ang iyahang king. Tanaw na to. So one move raman no. So ang move sa opponent's king is diri ra or diri sa ubos or diri sa side. Okay? Tanaw na to. One move. So sawa na to. Check siya. Dapat move siya. Kay if dili, dapat yun move siya. No? Patay mo siya. Capture mo siya. Likod. Legal, illegal. Of course, illegal. Kay na queen. Diri siya sa bikas. Masalbar ba siya? Dili nga naman. Na ay rook ni mo. Okay? Patay siya. O mudong siya da. Illegal move. Okay? So pwede mo siya mo doon dire of course kay one more room siya dire siya dapita. Okay? Masalbar ba siya? Of course dili gyapon. Illegal gyapon na siya move, dili pwede yung move nga naman naay rock nimo. Okay, the rook moves vertically. Okay? So dili siya pwede dire. Samot sa tubangan naay queen. Dire. Pwede dire? Of course dili gyapon kay na may rook. So wala na siya'y laing legal nga move. So, that is considered a checkmate. So, atong pagkito, no? Power sa ato ang chess piece. So, queen, patay, rook, kumbalin siya dire, kumbalin siya sa right, kanon siya sa rook, balin siya sa kilid, kanon po siya sa atong rook dire, patay siya. Balin siya tabangan, of course patay gihapon kanon sa queen. If balin siya sa dire sa ubos because one na move, patay gihapon na rook. Meaning trap na siya. Wala na siya'y laing kagawsanan. Bad lagi to. Okay? So that is checkmate. So the king is in check. At the same time, the king has no more legal moves. Okay? Ano to? Okay, so that is the grounds for duha imong basihan sa checkmate. So, daog ka. If na-check ni mong yung king, then wala na siya legal moves. Another type nga mo end sa chess game is draw, meaning there is no winner. Okay, uli daw yung duha. Draw meaning tabla. Okay, sa may grounds of sa kapila. Sa may grounds og draw. So A, there is no more chess pieces to be moved or used. Wala na no? One instances is wala na chess piece ng nahurot niyo kaon pero walay ni checkmate. Or tungod kay nababoy, possible pa no? Ngani the opponent's king has no more legal moves. But wala siya na check, meaning wala ni capture niya but wala na siya legal move. Okay, imagine ka, no? Di siya checkmate nga naman, wala man siya na capture. But wala na legal moves. That is possible. So automatic draw. O may daog na. Okay, dili man checkmate. Okay? So mostly ang case na may tabo ka ng maglisod og checkmate. So si kaon na lang mo. So wala checkmate tay. Puhutan na lang og chess piece muro dama ba. Oh, wala daw ka na. So tie or unsa na. Another is resignation. Ay, okay. Balik na rin term dito no. Asa atong module mo day. Darda. The player has to move has no legal move and it is not in check. Sakto day. Kaning nga term wala na legal moves pero wala siya na capture, so di siya masyugod ng checkmate, meaning kani siya is stalemate, no? Walay checkmate unya nahurot na inyuhang chess pieces, wala ni maduwa as in hurot na yun siya, no? Walay ni checkmate, so stalemate na siya, walay daog walay pilde, so that is stalemate. The second is resignation, resign, no? So dili na ka mo padayag duwa, meaning in surrender na imong opponent, that is it's either ikaw no ni resign or imong opponent. So wala na dili siya maduwa. So one of the reason in terms of na mo resign nga player mo handshake na sila, meaning kabalo na sila nga pilde sila, so ma-pride man ang mga grandmasters of chess, no? So dili sila gusto nga mabot sila nga point nga na checkmate sila, nga napilde sila, sakit kay na sa ilahang buot, no? Nga mapilde sila, so unahan nila daan, so makiga handshake sila, resign sila, pilde sila, no? In terms of resignation, no? So lahi na siyang kategory, dili siya draw, no? 3 ni siya. In resignation there is a winner, okay, but this is the case sometimes kanang mga task kay pride, no? Hindi sila mo resign, mo offer sila og draw, meaning walay daog yung duha, so handshake siya, draw. Kung ikaw po galisod po gano nga pag checkmate niya para po mapadali di ba dugayin yung duwa, so 50-50 mo ba mo kibaw kasi mo daog kasi ang pilde diyan makasinabot mo, that is a draw, no? No winner. So these are the 3 ways the chess game would end. So checkmate, there is a winner, the king is captured the same time, no legal moves. Second, ang anay winner, no? So ni-resign namang kontra, kapoy na siya, pilihuno na, di siya mauwaw, so resign na siya. So daog ka, there is a winner. So in terms of draw, no, stalemate, walay daog walay pilde, that is draw. Okay, let us cut the video kay I think it's very long already na siguro, 1 hour 23 minutes. Okay, I will upload part 2 for the actual gameplay para na may basihan, no? Okay, the actual gameplay, so the actual movements of the chess. Any questions? Of course, imo questions, no? Comment down below for your questions na lang siguro. Okay, so I think those are the basic, no, chess piece arrangement, chess piece moves, then the rules: checkmate, stalemate, and draw. Okay, I think we'll proceed with the next video. Okay, mga manihapon sa takay, gutom na ko, buyers.